Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
It's like deja vu all over again. Our top story here at 4 o'clock, the weather. And just when we thought we were done with the rain, more rain coming our way possibly.
Yeah, severe storms will make their way to runaway barges. Did not do any damage after crashing into a dam on the Arkansas River.
Tense moments for sure. You see it right there. The town nearby, Webbers Falls, was evacuated and has still seen some flooding and rising waters. That's where we find News 9's Kaylee Bourgeois. Well, those who live around Ski Island and Silver Lake are trying to get rid of a big stink. There are several cracks in the 40 to 60-year-old sewage lines for Bethany War Acres. And after big storms, rain flushes some of that sewage out of the manholes and sometimes back into homes. This manhole feeds right into Ski Island Lake, and neighbors say it is made for a big, smelly mess.
I have feces and toilet paper in my backyard.
The amount of rain that we're getting just overwhelms the ability of the pipe to transport that water out here.
The Bethany War Acres Public Works Authority says for months it's been using flow monitors to find cracks in the sewer lines where that rainwater is coming in. It doesn't have a timetable on when the cracks will be fixed, but it's currently working with the DEQ. In what has been called a historic move, Oklahoma County Commissioners have approved a jail trust. The trust takes operations of the county jail. News 9's Dana Hurtecki is at the jail with the new information about what this all means. OKC City Council has approved a second settlement connected to last year's deadly electrocution along the Bricktown Canal. The city is paying $175,000 to Wes Seeley's estate. The 23-year-old was killed last September after he fell into the canal and then grabbed a lamppost to try and pull himself out. His estate alleges the city was negligent. So we've been dealing with tornadoes, but NOAA is reminding us that hurricane season starts next month. NOAA forecasts as many as 15 named storms in the Atlantic region. They expect there to be 4 to 8 hurricanes and 2 to 4 major hurricanes. Officials say new advanced warnings for storms can help keep people safe.
The hurricanes impact different people in different ways, so I need to make sure my preparedness plans are in place for the ways myself, my family, my area could be impacted.
And NOAA says thanks to improved tracking, they've been able to give more advanced warning for those in the path of the storm. And coming up next, NASA is giving you the chance to get your name on Mars. And it doesn't cost you a thing. It's
I don't know about this one.
gift. We'll explain in Trends, Topics, and Tags. Trends, Topics, and Tags for today. While human beings have not landed on Mars, they can still leave their mark on the planet.
Yeah, NASA is offering the public an opportunity to send their names to the red planet.
That's kind of cool. Right?
I don't know, I'm a little skeptical. These names will be stenciled on chips and delivered by the 2020 rover. The rover is set to launch in July of 2020 and will land in February of 2021.
And I guess it just drops the chips? What does it do with these names? It just puts it on the planet, right?
I mean, we're talking microchips? Are we talking Lay's potato chips?
Exactly, but they're not going to attach it to the plane. They're just going to drop it, right? Anyone who goes to NASA's website can read more about this, and then they can sign up to leave their name on Mars. They get a souvenir boarding pass and frequent flyer points. Okay, it's all a joke here, but anyway, it's kind of fun. More than 2 million names flew on NASA's previous mission to Mars.
Yes.
Maybe it's just a
well, officials say it's a gimmick, I guess. It's part of a public engagement campaign to highlight missions to Mars. But I'm thinking, you're taking my name to Mars, and they're going to put it on a short list for when the aliens come back. I mean, I don't know. Exactly. I don't want my name. I don't want them coming after me. Okay?
You don't have to use your real name. But I like this as a gift to someone. You know, if you're not sure what
Carl
to get
Twerp,
someone.
your name's going to
Mars.
Mars.
Yeah, like you just get this thing. Like,
Happy
what?
birthday.
My name's on Mars. Thanks for thinking of me. I don't know.
Well, join in on this conversation on the News 9 Facebook page. We want to hear what you have to say. Well, this one's interesting. A recent graduate walked away from the ceremony over the weekend with a college degree and a bit of a bruised ego.
I assume this is a high schooler did it, but it was
it's
a college kid.
college.
So this person's not smart yet, but on paper, a great idea. The guy's going to do a backflip, or is it a girl doing a backflip? We're waiting for that backflip, but here's the deal. Right, Seaman? Oh, no, gosh,
no.
That looked like it hurt. Right there.
Can we get that
he doesn't
slow-mo?
account for the drag from the cap and gown.
Ooh. Now, did he walk away with an injury? The ego is one thing.
He opened up because he goes basically he had a parachute on. Oh my gosh, is he okay? Do we even know?
We don't know if he is okay.
We don't know. We just assume he's fine, or else we'd probably hear more.
I'm sure he thought this was a good idea in his head. And this is why they don't let me do backflips, folks. Okay.
But you can tell like he's going for a
that should have been
backflip over like a dog or something. You know, like the height of another person.
He will definitely be unforgettable.
We don't know, David.
It says we do not know if he was injured. We don't know.
I'm guessing he's injured.
It certainly looked like it.
He's definitely sore.
He's in traction right now with the old.
What was that, though?
I don't know. That was a bad flip that went horribly wrong.
Can you do a backflip?
I cannot. I can barely walk forward.
Well, we knew that.
Yeah, it's pretty sad. No, I cannot. That's amazing, though.
Oklahoma's own News 9 starts now.
Thanks so much for joining us. Devastating flooding sweeps away even more homes and threatens others. Meanwhile, people in eastern Oklahoma evacuated before 2 barges crashed into a dam just before noon today. We do have team coverage as parts of the state now prepare for even more severe weather tonight.
And we've already seen one tornado touching down this afternoon. Let's get right over to Chief Meteorologist David Payne for more on who could see storms tonight.
Yeah, guys.
Well, it was a sigh of relief in eastern Oklahoma where a dam held up after 2 barges smashed right into it near Weber's Falls around noon today.
But the threat there still remains as the flood waters rise. News 9's Amy Slanchik is in Weber's Falls with more.
And just about 20 minutes ago, OHP reopened I-40 in that area. Meanwhile, Weber's Falls still under that mandatory evacuation order, as Amy just mentioned. Coming up here at 6, we're going to hear from the police chief about the continued threat. Back here in the metro, Oklahoma City officials continue to monitor the dam on a private lake in a northeast Oklahoma City neighborhood. Authorities are concerned the dam could fail, causing the homes near Northeast 115th and Air Depot to flood. Now, part of that dam has actually collapsed. The neighborhood HOA is currently working with an engineer to formulate a plan. It's been heartbreaking to watch. Steve, thanks. All right, the Oklahoma Blood Institute is in desperate need of donations. The flooding and severe weather has critically impacted the OBI's blood supply. Officials say they need donors of all blood types to give blood as soon as possible in order to prevent a blood shortage. If you have been impacted by the storms this week or that flooding, Emergency Management wants to hear from you. They're asking that you report that damage, and you can do so by calling 211 or by going to damage.ok.gov. Big changes for the Oklahoma County Jail. Commissioners approved a jail trust. That group will oversee operations of the county jail. News 9's Dana Hertnicki today talked with one of the members of the newly formed trust, and she has the new information about the jail.
This is Oklahoma's own News 9.
Neighbors around the Silver Lake Ski Island area here in the metro say they are being overwhelmed by the stench of raw sewage.
And the rain isn't helping because right now there are cracks in the Bethany War Acres sewage lines, and it could be a while before that problem is fixed. This Bethany War Acres manhole is surrounded by mud and muck, and here's why. This is after a little rain and after a lot.
It'll do it for 24, 48 hours sometimes after a heavy rain.
Neighbors say it's been going on for 6 months. Their video shows where the stink stream goes, right down the road, under a street, and into Ski Island Lake.
It smells like pure sewage.
When dry, the standing water has a sheen to it. And yes, that appears to be wadded up toilet paper.
I have feces and toilet paper in my backyard.
Shelley Brotherton says the sewage can back into her house on Silver Lake.
I have to leave my clean out cap off, and so the backup will flow out here instead of in my home.
Brotherton says she's constantly spraying down her yard after a big storm, but that smell,
it's just been awful,
is tough to dilute.
It's just Mother Nature overwhelming the system. Could be one big leak, could be thousands of small leaks.
The Bethany War Acres Public Works Authority says for months it's been using flow monitors to pinpoint where rainwater is getting into 50 to 60-year-old sewer lines. Cracks are being repaired once they're found.
It's probably 90% rainwater when it's coming out.
Well, that 10% smells a lot.
Well, I've been out there. I don't think it does too much.
But those living close to this manhole
Very rank.
disagree. The Bethany War Acres Public Works Authority says it is working with the Department of Environmental Quality. It has no idea, though, how many cracks there are currently, so there is no timetable on when the problem will be fixed.